Jace, you talked about sports being a part of your childhood.
Yeah.
Well, dogs were a big part of my childhood.
You want to be a dog.
I wanted to be a wolf.
I was like, Jace, that is so mean.
And he's on the floor. Jace is on the floor.
Was it because you wanted to howl at the moon?
I don't know. I just
doesn't pay the
remember.
bills,
It
okay?
doesn't. I didn't know that.
Well, thanks for pressing play on a fairly new addition to the Rivers podcast, the on-air, off-air podcast. This is where some of your favorite folks from on the air share some fun stuff off the air with people just like you. So we'll go around the table to introduce. My name is Josh from the River Morning Show.
Hannah, also from the River Morning Show.
I almost introduced myself as Haley without thinking.
You should have.
That would be awesome.
I'm Jace, half of the afternoon show.
And I'm Laura Lee from Middays.
So middays during your workday, and we're trying to make your brain work a little bit today. Hopefully this is an easy question, but I want to get kind of a ratio around the room here. Who right now is doing something they love for their job? Please tell me it's everybody.
Absolutely.
Please tell me it's everybody.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
love it.
absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which of us here are doing what we thought we would do when we were kids?
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
Well,
Not whatsoever.
almost.
Almost. Okay, so
Laura's
it's
an
close.
almost.
Explain. Yeah, honestly, almost.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My brother and I used to make cassette tapes, pretending
What's
like we were. Yep. And then somehow.
Was it a pencil you had to stick in it
Exactly,
to rewind it?
yes.
Is that
But
what it
that's
was?
not how we recorded it. So we had this little cassette player and we
Okay.
popped the tape in. I think my mom did this to like give us something to do and get out of her hair.
Yeah.
And so, we'd press record and play at the same time. This is very
okay.
important. And we would pretend that we were either a radio show or TV shows. And I would interview him and I would teach him songs because I was a little older and I would teach him songs from school. And yeah, it was great. And I still have. I usually bring in Sharon Tell props, and I have my cassettes. I still have some of these cassettes.
Wow.
Next time you are featured
Yeah.
here on the On Air Off Air podcast, I want to see cassettes.
It's just
I'll
a
bring
full
it.
hour of Laura
Yeah.
Lee's cassettes.
It's a history roast.
My
is what
rendition
it
of
is.
Farmer in the Dell, because I
Oh,
sang.
my word.
And this is what I remember about it, is I sang The Farmer Cakes the Wife, and I couldn't say takes at that age. But that just started a progression. I mean, we went into I want to say almost high school recording each other.
Wow.
Just to, yeah.
That's amazing.
But that wasn't...
The farmer in the Dell. Is that
The farmer in the Dell, the farmer in the Dell.
Hi ho, the
Except for I said, oh yeah, the Dario. So, oh yeah, the Dario, the farmer in the Dell.
This explains so much.
I've worked on my pronunciation a lot.
You're doing great.
You also said almost.
Also,
So-
because it wasn't radio particular, but I always wanted to do sports broadcasting, and so I've done that. I do some of that on the side. So radio was kind of in college. This is the closest thing I can find, and went, I think I could actually do this.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of a combination of all these things.
Did your school have a sports program as part of that with the
In college?
In college, yeah.
There was a sports journalism thing that was offered a semester that I took, but it was more just make your own connections, and it was just good training and practice, and found out, hey, I actually kind of like this. And
Color versus commentary, or just reporting,
how
or
much?
just. I'm just
Are you
curious.
interviewing him right now?
Yes, I am actually. And then I want you to
after
sing.
class. See me after class.
But you're kind of doing both because you're in radio and sports, quote unquote, broadcasting with the Rivalry podcast.
Yeah. Ooh,
Another
cross
River
promotion.
plug. Hello.
Rivalry podcast. All things college football.
But have you ever got to call a game? Because that would be really cool. That, okay, that's awesome.
So I did collegiate volleyball, soccer, basketball
Nice.
for a Christian school down in West Palm Beach for a little bit.
That's very cool.
Did some
You
stuff in
left?
St.
Yeah,
Joe.
what a flex.
I know.
It's like it was
I
snowing
think
on my
about why
drive-in
I
today.
left every single day.
So
We'll keep you. We'll keep you.
your goal or dream of becoming a sports broadcaster, about when did that arise? Little
gosh.
kid or high school?
No,
Really?
little kid.
Wow.
Sports were always just such a big part of my life. So when I listened to them and watched them, the emotion that was brought into the living room or the bedroom or whatever, I went, man, I can really latch onto that. I want to do that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so I still get super stoked listening to the radio call of a game
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just, it's really cool to be part of that now too.
A lot of people like the radio better than the TV callers.
If they're good.
Yeah, if they're bad, that's the worst thing ever. You were not close.
Oh yeah,
Your
no.
reaction was
I had no idea what I wanted to be or do for most of high school. But before that, Jace, you talked about sports being a part of your childhood.
Yeah.
Well, dogs were a big part of my childhood.
You want to be a dog.
I wanted to be a wolf.
I was like, jeez, that is so mean.
And he's on the floor. Jace is on the floor.
Was it because you wanted to howl at the moon?
I don't know. I just
doesn't pay the
remember.
bills,
It
okay?
doesn't. I didn't know that as a 7-year-old.
Maybe it does, depending on the.
There was a big stretch in my life where if people, your teachers, neighbors, babysitters asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Unreal.
A wolf was always my
Oh, wait,
answer.
and then you were like part of the generation where the parents were like, this is our wolf.
No.
And,
My parents did not feed
No,
into
okay.
the delusion. Absolutely not. Instead, they offered opportunities to, okay, you can't be a wolf, but how about? And so then it changed into when I learned I couldn't morph, which was very unfortunate.
Right.
It's a sad
to
day.
wanting to own a wolf sanctuary.
Okay.
So a
Okay,
place
that's
for
actually-
wolves to be
Right.
safe and to be nurtured.
But wolves are naturally not safe.
Well, for them to be kept safe, I would give them whatever they want to eat. I'd give them my left arm.
My goodness.
They are such a God-given gift to this earth. But then that had to change because I learned quickly in middle school when my rational mind clicked in. Took me a minute. That taking care of wolves required math, science, and medical, like blood and I'm not great with any of that.
Okay.
So God said, you can't be a wolf. You can't hang out with wolves, but you can have a dog.
And go visit the wolves at the zoo.
I know. I can visit the wolves at the
So
zoo and I
close.
can have a dog. So that's where we've landed. I have a dog that kind of looks like a wolf. That's where we're at.
I don't know if this is like the typical boy thing, but I wanted to either be a race car driver
Oh, yeah.
or a police officer because you got to drive fast. Like that's all I was
He's got a
concerned
need
about.
for
The
speed.
theme is Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for speed, yeah. I could see you in NASCAR.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't watch NASCAR unless there was a wreck. Like I wanted to see the
So
big
you wanted-
fireballs. And
So maybe
eventually,
he doesn't want speed. He wants the wreck.
He
well,
does.
here's the thing. My rational mind also clicked in and I went, if I'm racing those cars, I'm in the fireball.
Yeah.
Let's do something else.
So that adds up more because if you know Josh at all, he's a very cautious person.
Yes.
So I don't imagine you even driving to the station in the morning going more than 5 miles over the speed limit.
Grandpa.
That right there just made me uncomfortable. I am cruise control on the speed limit.
Oh,
so
wow.
it just somehow, but it's interesting because what you wanted to be as a kid is so against your nature.
That's like the rebellious outlet.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
Josh's
Yeah, that's the
rebellion.
rebellious
Was
outlet.
thinking
So
he
Wolf
wanted
is
to be a race
rebellious.
car driver.
Most people don't sow their wild oats at the age of 5. Okay.
Well, you've never fit the norm, Josh.
All right,
You've
fine.
never fit the norm.
So there's that. So another part of childhood, what we've had this week in particular in Ohio, especially, are snow days. And we've talked about snow days here on this podcast before, so I don't want to go down that road again. However, are you tired of winter yet?
No.
Yes. So
No.
much.
I love the
I
snow.
love that on that
love
side
it.
of the room, there's so much contention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
you
this
guys
service.
want to throw down? You want to?
I would love to arm
Snowball fight?
wrestle. What'd you
Okay.
say?
We're not
Snowball
doing
fight.
that.
Snowball fight, yes.
So we do a thing on the morning show called Defend Your Case.
Yeah.
So I need you both
Is
to
it where
defend
we
your
arm wrestle?
Okay, I got
No,
it. I got it right.
you need
goodness.
points.
I got point number one.
Josh and I will attempt to be
We'll judge.
the judge.
Yeah.
You guys are the defendant and the, what's the other one?
Defendant.
Prosecutor. Well, they're both defendants
they're
of their.
defendants.
Right.
Whatever is in
This
a
is more
courtroom.
like debate team or
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Laura
yeah.
Lee, ladies first,
Absolutely.
defend your case of loving winter still.
Loving winter still. First of all, when it does snow, it's beautiful. It is stunningly beautiful. It is like, I don't know why even when, so it was snowing a little bit last night before I went to bed and I looked outside, I was like, oh, like I've never seen snow. And it's still that beautiful to me. So it's beautiful. And God made this beautiful snow.
All right,
Don't bring the Lord into this.
Yeah, what are you going to tell me? It's ugly now because you got some splaining to do.
What's that, Lord? He said, don't implicate him in this.
All right.
Is that your only
What's
point?
that?
Is it's
He
beautiful?
also- no, I have lots of points.
Well,
I thought we were going back and
maximum
forth.
3. Maximum 3.
Do you want all
points.
3 first?
Yeah, just all 3 first.
Okay. I thought this was a back and forth thing.
No, it's not a debate. We want to do one side, and then judge.
Okay. Number 2, bugs. I don't care for bugs if they are bad bugs, like fleas and ticks and the ones that will harm your wolves or your dogs.
Wolf
Bad
harming
bugs.
You
Bad bugs.
need
What
a
you gonna
good,
do?
hold on. This comes from my dad who's like big with dogs and everything. You need to have the ground has to stay frozen for a number of days in order to tap down the population. Stop it. So bugs, we need this winter, we need the snow, because otherwise our bugs will be as big as they are in Florida, and they're like as big as my hand.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So I'm not a bug fan. So, I mean, I know there are good bugs, but those bugs will come back.
I hope I'm a good bug.
Right now?
We can all aspire.
All right. And so let's see. My third is I really do. Oh, this is going to sound like a selfish thing, but maybe there's other people that feel like me. I like the little bit of downtime I get in the winter to do things inside. I'm a project person. I always have a lot of projects. So I have like about 5 projects going on right now that are definitely indoor projects of just like,
Okay.
and games. I love board games. Like in the summer.
Is this a 4th point?
No, wait, it's part of
Interesting.
the indoor. It's part of the
it's
indoor activities.
3.1.
As soon as it's nice out, there's sports activities to go to and stuff for, and so when we're home, I could be like board game, everybody, or card game, and most everybody will join me.
Okay. So to recap, it's pretty.
It's pretty.
There are no bugs.
There are no bugs.
And there's indoor activities
And there's indoor
that you get to
activities,
enjoy.
yes.
Okay.
Mine is going to be a lot shorter than that.
All right. Go
Point
for it.
number 1. The sunshine and warmth is also pretty.
There.
Okay. I feel like that balances out.
The sun will shine when it's snowing
Well,
sometimes.
have you ever been outside on like a nice like spring summer day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's another type of beauty.
Yes.
All right.
But it'll be here when it's time.
Excuse me, you don't get a rebuttal session.
I do, actually.
I don't know that we
I think
will
he's
have
going to take
rebuttals.
rebuttal. I want to
continue.
rebuttal.
And I object.
That's
All right.
number 1. Number 2, the outdoors is not currently heated.
You've been watching too much TikTok,
I sure
sir.
have.
But I love it. I'm here for it.
And maybe the biggest one is number 3. You're describing in your argument for cold winter days the fact that you get to be inside.
But I also like to be outside. So I guess I should have.
Is that-
I do want to rebuttal.
Is that
no.
not just
Wow.
if the snow person is talking about, my favorite part of the snow is not being in it? To me, that kind of sounds like
No.
we should just be in warm weather. I rest my case, Your Honors. Thank
I
you.
will grant one rebuttal because his 1 point was actually just a rebuttal of your 3rd point. So
Okay,
you
so my
can
rebuttal
rebut his rebut.
of his rebuttal
Yes.
is that skiing and snowing and snowmen making.
Those are just activities. That's
Those
not
are
a
activities
rebuttal.
outside in the snow that I
Okay.
enjoy.
Okay, Your Majesty,
Have you
we rest
ever-
our
Points have been made.
All right, let's confer.
Josh, here's the issue.
whisper, whisper, whisper.
I think
I believe we have different beliefs
100%.
in winter.
Yeah.
So
he likes winter and you don't. Is that it?
you got it.
Oh, okay.
Josh is a winter fella because he
Oh,
runs
this-
hot.
I do. It's warm.
runs
Yeah.
warm.
I'm
And it's
always
nice to go
warm.
outside. Have you ever taken a nap outside in the winter?
No, that's odd.
It's called Arctic cocooning. You should look into it.
We can't do this podcast.
I know.
What is that?
Whereas my goal is to make sure that groundhog doesn't see his shadow in the slightest.
Yes.
I will bring a giant lamp over the state of Ohio if I have to.
So if you and I disagree, then in our judgment, is that a hung jury, and we have to go to podcast producer Eric?
Either
for the
podcast
tiebreaker?
producer Eric, or you can write in the comments
You could.
on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't trust Eric.
I do.
He's got
Eric,
shifty
hey.
eyes.
I do. He's wearing
eyes.
flannel today,
I
so that
think- I
might
think
be
we put him
you
in
know
the
what?
Eyes are
comments.
shifty because he's looking away from your shirt.
That's fair.
Let's
a
let
Michigan
him
shirt.
have an opinion from the dark corner.
What do you
Eric, yay or nay to winter?
Do you want me to come up there so they can hear me?
Yeah,
Just,
come over
yes.
here.
It's funny if you're far
I'll
away.
share my
I'm
mic.
fine. All right.
All right. Thank you, Laura Lee.
Feels on winter or summer? What's better?
So podcast producer Eric is actually from Buffalo. So
Okay, but that could mean you're over it or
Correct.
you're for it.
I-
Jace is from Michigan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I actually love the snow.
There we go.
Get out.
I'll take snow.
This is
every single
Remember that
day.
time they had to move a football game from Buffalo because the snow ruined it? Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and the game was still great.
Yeah, they still played the game.
We still played the game.
Head back to your corner.
Yeah,
Eric.
you're no longer there.
You're
Jace, we'll go find
Anytime.
the warm sunshine. Where were you? West Palm Beach?
Yep,
We're
yep.
going.
That's a long distance from Sault Ste. Marie. It
is.
It's very
Exact
far.
opposites.
Managed
Yeah.
to hang up your Michigan shirt for that.
I will say my love of winter has a limit. My favorite sport is baseball. And in the middle of February, when pitchers and catchers report, I'm done. I want to start mowing the grass. And it never happens, of course, because that's when winter decides it's really going to kick me in the pants. So I don't appreciate it. But right now, as you listen to this, as we record this podcast,
You love it.
I love it. And it was snowing this morning again. And I'm like, this is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Fantastic.
It is. It's great.
Wish my eye roll was louder,
Right,
but
well,
it's fine.
The goal of each of these podcasts, especially when Hannah is in, to exhaust her.
Yeah,
I think we
Do you
have
feel exhausted?
it's been done.
Would you like to take a walk in the snow with me
No,
after?
I do not. I want to bring a flamethrower and just make it all go away.
Wolves.
I know, that's where.
That's
look,
a good point.
I know, bringing it back around.
I learned I couldn't morph, and I learned I don't like snow. Thus, I am not a wolf, and I don't own a wolf sanctuary.
Our reasons for being anti-winter are very different. It's just so clear. Just so clear.
Well, I'm glad we had this conversation because now I know who my real friends are. So I don't know what you two are doing for lunch later. Well, let's hang out.
Absolutely.
It's the On Air, Off Air podcast, and we're so glad you listened. For other fun stuff you may not even know that's out there right now in terms of podcasts The River is offering, be sure to check it out at riverradio.com or search The River anywhere you get your podcasts. And I will say this, more are coming, more on the way, so that there's a little tease for you. But thanks for listening to On Air, Off Air with The River.
This podcast is another River Impact production. You can find more podcasts like this one at riverradio.com. And if you like what you're hearing, make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening now. And be sure to tell a friend so they can listen too.